XRP Green Candles. It's a simple name, but it gets the factor across on what we're going to be speaking about in Trendy Update. We are following this 2017 fractal, which probably is going to take us to an all-time high either this week, subsequent week, with the aid of the end of this month. All-time excessive for XRP looks as if it's coming in. Following on that, if we maintain following this fractal all of the manner through, we are speak me about a double-digit XRP, 10, 15, perhaps even $20, so stick round. Trump set to introduce crypto government orders on day one, the SEC taking some other big loss in the courts right here nowadays, once again. And we had a huge crypto liquidation occasion that took place this morning. Let's test out the healing though, because XRP is already back up. And that's why I stated XRP is printing inexperienced candles. You ever look at any time frame zoomed out longer than a pair hours, right? And what you're going to see is that XRP just had its maximum yearly near ever. We simply had a large weekly near above $2.50, and in spite of the liquidation event this morning, we are again green once more right here on that weekly chart. So, permits test it, folks. Starting off right here, just the size of this liquidation event this morning, $420 million liquidated from the cryptocurrency market inside the past 12 hours. So essentially, because the markets unfolded this morning, broader stock marketplace and the crypto market getting drugged down, XRP did go along with it. And so when I slide on over right here to the XRP chart, what we be aware is that XRP did come all of the manner down right here to approximately $2.35, basically 233 is what 234. So massive liquidation occasion for the overall markets, shares, crypto, everything. XRP comes right down to 234. But then look at this bounce all of the way back up here to 2150. 150, 255. And so once I slide on over here, zoomed out on our weekly chart, our given the 2017 fractal within the yellow candles, and what you may see right here is that we are following this 2017 fractal flawlessly. 3 pink candles, and what we got lined up here is 4 green candles. We simply did it with ultimate week remaining right here, off at 2.50, up to 5.50. Sort of green weeks in a row. We start off this new weekly candle. This morning we get a big liquidation occasion. Everybody freaks out. And I'm seeing way less human beings coming to the remarks on my videos. And we used to look this all the time wherein XRP could drop off through a few cents, 5 cents, 10 cents, right? And absolutely everyone would be dashing to the comments to inform us how terrible we had been, how XRP sucks, crying, whining, and complaining. Now, we've been getting those pullbacks. We still get multiple remarks, multiple poor Nancy's pop in, but then you already know they come on lower back a few hours later, and I simply come on back and I say, "What's up? Take a look at that chart again, because you may not need to be crying anymore." Okay, might be capable of, placed your massive boy and big female pants on, and optimistically you scooped up these dips because, while you get them, the marketplace makers and the black rocks and the huge boys and ladies are taking benefit of it, and folks who are going to, you already know, get fudded out. You're not going to make it on this crypto sport in any respect. Right. But what we're seeing proper now on XRP, the setup is just surely surprising. The power and resilience of XRP on show. And it's looking better than almost every other virtual asset, as some distance is that resiliency. And the electricity and the outlook for basically the following month, without a doubt searching great. Now, speaking of the next month, right here, in only a couple of weeks, Trump's coming in, and now the rumors are circulating that he is expected to trouble executive orders related to crypto rules on his first day in office, which, though right from day one we're getting to work, it's far looking terrific. Speaking of having to work, I certainly went through and I skimmed through this invoice, the Fair Tax Act of 2025 introduced by Buddy Carter that might put off federal income, payroll, property, and property taxes. I went via and examined that, due to the fact you already know, I was interested on some factors. The recommendation or essentially the thought could enforce a 23% intake tax or sales tax, a national income tax which I notion become too excessive. Is like, yeah, I love the start of this. We start out this conversation getting rid of earnings, payroll, estate, and gift tax, but then we implement a 23% intake countrywide sales tax. That's too a long way. And I desired to see what else they could have slipped into this invoice. And in particular on the subject of, you recognize, folks who already have debts and the way that could be treated going forward. Basically, what will be the transition? They do not simply outline it, but what I did go find here in this invoice, I absolutely went and study it, is this portion proper right here. Phasing out of administration of repealed federal taxes. It is, and they mainly say that appropriations for any expenses of the IRS, including processing tax returns for years previous to the repeal of the taxes repealed by means of Title I of this Act, revenue accounting, control, transfer of payroll and salary records to the Social Security Administration for years after monetary 2029, shall no longer be legal. So essentially, no extra monies going to the IRS. If this bill gets handed as it's written right now, no extra money is going to the IRS for these previous tax years, essentially this year, 2025, 2026, all the way out, and they essentially segment this into 2029, and so they don't absolutely outline. I also requested Grok. I went to X and asked Grok, how would this essentially transition over, and it doesn't genuinely define it. It counseled move, reading the invoice. So that is what I did. And that is what I'm locating. And so, you realize, if this goes through, we're talking approximately commencing up Pandora's container, America 2.0 revisited. This goes to be just something to observe. Once again, we are getting to work on crypto. We're getting to work on taxes. We're getting to work on deregulation. We're going to forestall those wars. There is a lot correct at the way. But in the meantime, we recognize what they may be lining up and what they're seeking to do to stop us from being able to swing us again in the proper route. As a rustic, we will be watching this intently, fascinating, captivating attention what's being proposed right here in this bill. Now, a big loss for the SEC was exceeded out right here by using the Third Circuit Court right here. This is in the Coinbase case. And so Paul Gerval here, the legal officer of Coinbase, says, "We just received our petition for a writ of mandamus on the Third Circuit, rebuking the SEC for its order denying our rulemaking petition." The courtroom held that, quote, "the SEC's order was conclusory and insufficiently reasoned and therefore arbitrary and capricious." So once more, the SEC being known as arbitrary and capricious, and the courtroom grants Coinbase's petition in element in remand to the SEC for a complete explanation. So this is searching exact. David Schwartz shares this clip proper here. So the SEC's 1/2 risk enforcement strategy of targeting entities which can be seeking to observe the regulation does not provide capability defendants the awareness that due technique calls for, that is, especially authentic due to the sphere being novel. The organization has offered no significant steerage on which crypto asset it views as securities, other than that unfastened pass that Ethereum were given, aside from the opinion that Bitcoin isn't always a protection, right? They've offered no other guidance. The DAO record offers steering only approximately the clearest crypto assets tokens that appearance much like stocks. However, what about stable cash, application tokens, or even Bitcoin and Ether? Existing policies do not fit blockchain technology, but the SEC refuses to recognize this. Its official silence and contradictory unofficial alerts